Alright, I'm doing a pretty terrible job of taking videos of this part of the project, but I'm figuring out the pedals and where everything needs to go and still have dash clearance. So here's where I got the pedals mocked up right now. I would like to get a little bit more clearance to the wheel well there, because it doesn't give me a whole hell of a lot of throw on the clutch pedal. But there's not a lot of extra room for the dash either. If I try to bring them forward like this or something, so not a great option. Alright, I did get some decent progress today. So I got clutch, brake, throttle, and I've got my steering column moved over here to the left as far as I can get it, which gives me more clearance at the header. So that I should be able to use a single U-joint here instead of that double. Make things a little tighter. I didn't like how sloppy the steering was. I'm going to take this opportunity right now to clean off these PA stickers while they're easy to get to. No dash in there. This whole Beretta title thing has been a nightmare, but I think I got everything I need now to make it legal. Okay, it's all done. I hope that works. Yes, a title! Make sure all your paperwork is up to snuff though before you even load it on the trailer. I started mocking up the seat here. I had to cut it here, cut it over here, cut a bunch of tubing off so it had a brace that went through here. Cut that stuff off so that I can go ahead and do these universal seat tracks. Got the measurements that I need. I'm going to be 16 inches to the outside of these rails here, and they're about 12.5 deep. And that will get my seating position where it needs to be. I tried to sort of mock it up today. Hard to do with half a floor, nothing bolted in. But I sort of got an idea of what I need here, and we'll get this thing together and make sure it's comfortable. I need room for my head and a helmet, and keep everything comfortable for long drives and stuff. I plan on taking this to Beretta Fest and driving it there, whatnot. So it's going to be a summer daily, lots of hours driving this thing, so it needs to be comfortable. All right, I'm clamping these bars together while I drill them to make sure that the seat tracks are perfectly parallel and don't have any issues. And when I do the other side, I'm going to line that up there while I drill the second hole. Okay, all done my little plastic template I drilled and tapped, and I'll use these now. Okay, this is built. Hopefully it doesn't suck once it's in the car. I got sick of these flimsy seat adjusters coming apart, but now that should not be a problem. Much better now. Welding in the yard like a redneck, but I got these little mounts done here. Just welded a nut on the bottom side, so it doesn't look like much. The seat is in. I'm gonna move this gas pedal a little bit too. I wanted to make sure they were close enough to heel toe, but I can actually, I'm gonna cut it, bend it this way a little bit, and it'll make your foot a little bit more comfortable on long trips, because it's just too damn high off the floor right now. I don't think it's going to be comfortable long term. Okay, this don't look like a whole lot right now, but I do have pedals, clutch pedal, brake pedal. I'm going to move this throttle pedal over a little bit. I wanted to make sure I had some room for heel toe, but I've got plenty of room, and I think I'm actually going to hit the gas pedal when I hit the brake now. So I'm going to just pie cut that a little bit and move it. Plus it'll be more comfortable on long trips if it's a little closer to the floor, I think. But I kind of hacked this shifter that was already hacked. Some guy on the 3rd gen Camaro is who I bought this shifter from. They hacked the piss out of it. I just flipped it around, turned it, but it's a decent shift position here. I've got the seats totally adjustable, so there we go. Go all the way up. Apparently it don't work that well, but I don't think anybody 3 feet tall is going to be driving this. And I think at this point I can do my secondary mount for the pedals here that I've got to do. I've got to weld that on the top of the dash here, and I can probably, what I should do is put the dash in too, make sure that works. I was checking out console placement, and I've got to make a little spacer here with a longer bolt to bring my shifter this way a little bit, because my little accordion boot and stuff is just too far over with the way it is right now, because that's third and fourth, and that's reverse, which is just making the console get all wonky. So I got to change that up a little bit, but it's making some progress again finally. I've barely worked on this thing last week or 2 weeks, so it's good to get something accomplished here. Okay, there's the throttle all mocked up where it needs to be. Now I got to trim up the steering column part. Okay, now I'm problem solving here. I got my throttle pedal set up where it needs to be. That's tacked in place. Obviously I still got to finish that. These master cylinders though, I got those remote reservoirs out in the engine bay here, but the problem is where the lines go to them, I think they're actually lower than the master cylinders themselves, so that's not going to work. But this part of the dash here, I can cut apart. There's a ways behind it, so I don't have to worry about that for, you know, sealing water out and whatnot. So I can cut a big hole here and use these individual ones. And I just took a look at the dash, and I should be able to cut an access hole right here behind the gauges to be able to fill these if I need to without pulling the whole damn dash apart. I measured 6 inches from the bolt hole here for the steering column over to here, and I can cut an access right like this, which should give me room to do what I need to do, and then that will be all covered up and look factory. I got my lower steering column mount finished. So that little piece there, that red plastic, is something I made at work. So I've got to take that apart and make it out of steel, but that should work perfectly. I got to find my double D shaft. I lost the damn thing. I bought a 36 incher, and I know I got enough left to do it, but I just got to find it because the double U joint was a little longer than the single U joint. So I got to have a longer shaft here to connect my single down there to the single up here. But I got half my parts at my house and tools, and half of them at my old man's place here where I'm working on it. So I got to find out where the hell that thing went. And here's a mock-up of the shifter with that offset. Just got some longer bolts. This obviously is not going to be the final deal, but that will offset it over so that it fits the console nice. And I think what I'm going to do is actually cut this stick here and thread it for a different knob. And that should be plenty of throw. But I'm out of time today. We're going to go see monster trucks with a kiddo. She'll like that. She liked it down in Carolina. And I'll get back at it later. I never get as much time on this as I want. I did take the truck wiring harness home so I can wire it up for a Camaro tune to use that reverse lockout with a T56. Is that a flip fan?